Don't touch that Larry O'Brien trophy yet. Well, Rob and James, you can, because you guys have 10 of those between the two of you. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, James Worthy, Robert Ory, Brez is here. Allie Clifton and Trudell will be handling the postgame. The Lakers are one win away from the Larry O'Brien trophy, winning their 17th championship. It'd be the first one in 10 years. They win the pivotal Game 4. They take control of the series. They go up 3-1, James.
Yeah, this was a typical Game 4. You know, Game 1, you kind of fill each other out. Game 2, you make some adjustments. Game 3, Miami comes in, you know, with a lot of effort, beat the Lakers. And then Game 4, it's all about, you know, will and determination. I thought Miami played a really good game with Bam coming back. They stayed close. And, you know, I thought the Lakers played really hard defense. I thought key guys were Rondo, getting some extra possessions when they needed an extra rebound. I thought post play from the beginning. He was very aggressive from the outside, then hitting those big layups at the end. I just thought collectively the Lakers did what they had to do. They stayed, you know, tuned and stayed in touch and took care of business, you know, down the stretch.
You know, it's just a sign of a coach knowing what's at stake. You know, he kept his big dogs in through the whole game. He shortened his rotation. A lot of guys who usually get big minutes didn't get big minutes, and he played. That lets you know he's like going with the guys he has that trust in. And they came out, they played extremely well. You know, the only bad point in this game was LeBron had 6 turnovers. Other than that, they played good defense. They played good offense. They switched. You know, there's a couple of key, little mistakes here and there, but that's going to happen in the process of the game. And you talk it out, and you come back out, and you resolve that issue. But overall, they moved the basketball. They talked. And only issue I have is I want to see more points in the paint. More points in the paint, because you're bigger than this team. Get some points in the paint.
34-32 is pretty low. Points in the paint for this Laker team. But the Lakers get a huge win. We're going to have this post-game show going for 90 minutes. You will hear from everyone. Right now, we're going back to Orlando. KCP talking with Mike Trudell.
Okay, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, man, what's it like to come through for your team? 2 huge buckets down the stretch of a finals game like this.
Man, I felt good. I knew they was trying to close out on my 3-points all night, so just utilizing my pump fake and then trying to get to the basket or even make a play was open tonight.
That transition 3 that you took is something that we've seen from you all season long, last season as well. It's kind of one of your main things in your bag. How about to do it, though, in that kind of a moment? How do you ignore the pressure of the situation up to, right, Miami trying to come back and take the lead? How do you wash all that out and just take that shot?
Just stay within the game. You know, stay within the game floor. Don't let my last shot that I missed, don't let that dictate my next shot. So I mean, I lean on that a lot, and I just go with it. I stay with my rhythm, my flow, and just continue to shoot the ball. I know I'm a shooter, and my teammates looking for me to shoot, so I'm gonna continue to shoot.
Kentavious, you guys made enough plays down the stretch to get it, but could it be said that you won this game with defense, especially in the second half? Seemed really aggressive, making Miami take some tough shots.
Yeah, defense won the game tonight. We wasn't really scoring the ball that much, but we scored enough to keep the lead. But defense got us the W. We got stops when we needed, rebounded the ball, and just played Laker basketball.
2 huge shots from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the defense too. We appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's Kenny. Thank you, Mike. NBA Finals Game 4. He had 10 points in the first quarter. Then he did not score again until the 4th when he went on a little 5-0 run. He hit a huge 3 in the corner, and then he had a layup to the rack. He finishes 6 of 12, 3 of 8 from 3. He also had 5 assists. Rondo also with a huge bucket late. Rob, often we talk about, as you always say, Shaq would call it, the other guys. You've seen it over time in Laker history. You just reflect back to Derek Fisher, Trevor Ariza, Brian Shaw, Derek Fisher, just guys over time that hit big shots and play huge roles because you expect the stars to do their thing. KCP tonight has to be that guy that we highlight. In the first quarter, Lakers were a little sloppy, turning the ball over, a lot of pressure on him. Miami Heat's throwing a lot of blows early. KCP 10 points, and then those huge buckets for a guy that's had a lot of pressure on him, a lot of criticism from everyone. This is a big night for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge night for him because it happens in the big moment, in the playoffs, in the pivotal game. And if you look at his play, we always look at guys play on the offensive end, but you have to look at his defensive effort. He was in every guy's grill as he was guarding him. He was, contesting every shot. He played good defense on Hero. He played good defense on Jimmy Butler. And we always say, okay, his offensive shot is not falling. But tonight, he came out, and one of the pivotal moments for me was when he ran the floor. He knew LeBron had the ball, and he knew in the fourth quarter, get to your spot because LeBron will find you. He got to his spot, knocked down a three, and then you know what? I got the worst defender on the floor on me. Blow by him and get a layup. And that's something that we all in the studio, when we see him going for a layup, we're like, oh, no. But tonight, he made his layup.
Yeah,
so,
and what you're talking about is it was a 2-point game. Lakers miss, Heat are coming down. They get a block shot or a rebound. LeBron gets it, he goes. And you're talking about KCP going to that corner, hitting that shot. Very next possession, come down, hit that layup. There was 2:58 left in the game when that happened.
Yeah, it was crucial. And if you look at the replay they showed, he knew he was going to get the ball. He even checked his feet. He looked down to make sure he didn't step out of bounds. And those are pivotal moments in the game. People don't look at that because as a player, if I'm LeBron James, I got to know where your sweet spots are. And we all know Kenny's sweet spot is in the corner. He reminds me of Bruce Bowen. He's not going to make a three anywhere else, but in the corner. Get the ball down, penetrate, and kick it out, knock down his three.
Patiently waiting, big game James, jump on in.
Nah, I agree with Rob 100%. And I was going to say the same thing about how his defense is what got got him lathered up, it got his energy up, and he was really getting over picks, and I think that transferred right into his offense. He was ready. And I think one of the things about Pope that he's majorly improved in, and I mean like majorly, is his decision making. He came off that little curl. He threw that lob to AD. That was a big bucket. And then Rob talked about his decision making, getting to his spots, pump faking, and getting to the cup, pump faking, driving, and making a nice pass. So his decision-making was really impressive. And I think, he was key to the game tonight in a lot of ways, he and Rondo.
And you know what? Markieff Morris played a lot of minutes. I think he played the entire second quarter, started the second half, played those first 8 minutes, hit a couple of big threes. Kuz hit a couple threes. Danny Green hit a couple threes. So the role players, James, came to play, and Markieff Morris continues to add that depth that the Lakers desperately needed.
Wise player, experienced player, comes in, doesn't a lot of mistakes. Coach Vogel puts him in because he knows he's going to defend. He's physical, like Rob has mentioned. Crowder comes in, he gets in Crowder's face and says, back up, things like that. But he's a smart player, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. When you leave him open, he can knock down that deadly three.
He reminded me of you, Rob, when I think it was Crowder tried to get in the huddle. Markieff wasn't playing any games. So walk right over there. You would have not allowed that.
No, I would not allow that. I would kind of like put my elbows up, like I'm scratching my ears or something. But, that's the thing about Markieff. You have to have some toughness. You're going to have, Dwight's one of those guys, but when Dwight's not on the floor, you got to have someone else to do that. And he brings that toughness. He brings some smart. And we don't talk about his defense, but his defense is great. He knows how to use his body. He knows how to get in front of people, contest shots. But more importantly, he has been dead on from three. He's been killing the three. Even though tonight he didn't shoot the ball as well.
47% coming in, Rob.
Yeah, he's been shooting for three. He's been knocking out, phenomenal player, phenomenal.
Guys, we haven't even talked about LeBron and AD yet.
Who cares about those?
Isn't that great? But we will in a little bit. But let's go back to Mike. Kyle Kuzma has come over to chat with him.
All right, Kyle Kuzma, one win away from an NBA championship. Things were close down the stretch. I first want to ask you about KCP coming up and delivering for you guys down the stretch with those two big buckets.
Huge shots. Kenny's built for this. He's been through the mud all season, and he's just a strong individual, and I'm happy for him. He made some big plays to really help us catapult a win.
Kyle, you got some points early in the game, and then I thought the defense really grew for you and the team going into that second half, especially on Jimmy Butler. What were you focused on in making things tougher on him than it seemed like it was in Game 3?
We just tried to keep him to his left hand as much as possible. Game 2, he made some hell of a tough shots. And this game, I think we kind of played a little bit of the same defense, a little bit better for sure. Contesting his jump shots, making sure we didn't foul him, getting to the rim. So